We're going to cut the sound out, so say whatever you want.
Hey guys, we thought we would use our footage from today's squat session to go over the program that John and I are using. We'll probably be doing this for the next 3 or 4 months. It's called undulating periodization. I came across this method of training big movements, compound movements online a little bit ago, and I've been eager to try it out because it fits really, really well in with what we're trying to do. It also kind of plays into my weaknesses and my impulse to always lift heavy. So managing that's really important. What we've got here is a program that has you lift heavy, has you lift for medium intensity and medium rep ranges, and then follows that up by low intensity but higher rep ranges in that order for each compound movement. So say you've got the bench press, you would lift heavy, 1 to 3 reps, heavy as possible, max intensity. And the next session, be it later that week or the following week, would be a middle area session between 6 to 8 reps, maybe 5 to 7 reps, where you're hitting that sweet spot between hypertrophy and strength training. And then the next session for that particular movement would be your hypertrophy style training. That would be your 10 to 12 reps, something up there, lighter intensity, maybe 60 to 75% of your 1 rep max. So what this does for us, since we train 6 days a week, is we'll be hitting each movement twice a week. Bench gets hit twice a week, deadlift, back squat. And that allows us to lift something heavy every week, but never the same thing in the same week. That plays into my desire to lift as much weight as possible, and it also ensures that we're getting the other kinds of movements in. And that's really important. If you just train heavy all the time, you're going to beat the crap out of your CNS. You're only going to be good at one thing, and your body's eventually going to adapt to the style of training that you're hitting it with. It's going to be less efficient at it. By constantly varying the level of intensity, the rep range, even though it's in a cycle and even though it is the same movement, you are going to prolong that period of adaptation and get greater gains out of it. And that's the idea. So over the next 3-4 months, we're going to be testing it to see how it goes. John and I both know what our individual 1 rep maxes for these 3 movements are, and we will keep you updated on how exactly that works out. Now, what you'll see us doing here is front squat. This is our squat day, and extremely light. This is less than 50% of my 1 rep max on the front squat, and it's somewhere around the same for John as well. I'm only doing 135, and he's doing 95. We've got that medicine ball there to train us for our range of motion, because this is something, honestly, that we both struggle with pretty bad. For me, what I'm trying to fix is my tendency to go too low, ass to grass. That sounds great, like it's what you should be doing, but I go hypolidortic, which means my hips tilt towards the front, and it's an unstable position for your lower back. John has the same problem, but at a much higher position. He doesn't quite get parallel before he loses that lower back stable position and gets very, very rounded very quickly. A lot of that has to do with hip mobility, and these are the things that we're working on with him. But for a guy with his kinetic chain issues, John is incredibly strong. I don't know where he's summoning that extra strength from, but he's finding it somewhere. Does a great job with that. And as we work on his hip issues with the flexibility and the length of his hamstrings, we're making a lot of progress. So with undulating periodization, you get the idea that what we're doing is rotating those exercises during the week, where one day is our bench day and it may be our light day this week, which means that our squat day might be the heavy day, followed by the deadlift day, which might be the middle day. And we follow that rotation continuously, keeping it interesting, but also engaging with each of those different types of training, the low rep range, middle rep range, high rep range at the varying intensities. And that's how this program allows us to keep things interesting and keep us engaged and constantly wanting to get down there and wanting to work on it. One of the problems we had with German volume training is that I don't like volume training, and I didn't want to do it. We had committed to doing it for at least a month, and I hated it the entire time. At most, with this style of training, I've got to wait a week, maybe 2 weeks to get to that rep range that I really want to work with, and I can do that, and that keeps me constantly engaging in all the types of training that I should be doing. But at the same time, just around the corner is that carrot on a stick. I know I'm going to be able to lift heavy again. There are a couple of other advantages to doing the undulating periodization, and one of those comes in accessory work. Now, true, most of the accessory work we do is going to be somehow related to the primary movement that we're doing, either the back squat, the bench press, or the deadlift. But if we just did those things, we just concentrated on those things, those three movements are all we'd ever be good at. We have other goals. We want to be fit, aesthetic. I have decided I'm going to give up the survival pack that I'm carrying around on my belly. John would like to put some more mass on. So the way that we do that is the accessory work. And the nice thing about this program is that we can do whatever we want for that accessory work, and we can keep it extremely interesting. This is where we introduce skill work. That could be Olympic weightlifting. That could be CrossFit, endurance, what have you. Identifying all the places where we need to improve the most and working that work in there. But staying consistent with the primary three lifts of those big compound movements that we know are the ones that make the big difference as far as strength gain goes. We really think that this style of programming is going to be pretty successful. I'm really looking forward to the results that we get over the next 3 or 4 months. We're going to be cataloging them pretty well. You're not going to get one of these videos out of us every day because that's going to get boring for you all fast. Now, we haven't got any footage of the accessory work that we did following this. It was some one-legged box squats for time, 50 of them, 25 each leg, and then some shoulder work. But that's what I mean about the flexibility of the accessory work. Our legs were still trashed from Thursday's session with the deadlift, and we just weren't feeling it. So we switched gears and we moved to some shoulder work that they were feeling good, and we could get it in. So we did some lat raises and some IYTs and things like that. But there's one other thing that John worked on, and that was the high portion of his squat. Right after this clip, there's another very short clip that'll follow that'll demonstrate that what we were doing there, and I will describe that in a moment. So here John's got 95% of his 1 rep max, and he's doing 3 to 5 reps in a limited range of motion for 2 sets to work that top portion of his squat. So that's it, guys. That's our program for the next 3 to 4 months. If you want to see more content or less content, you just let me know. You know how to get in contact with me. In the meantime, be fast, be strong, be big, be mean, be lean. Just be you. And thanks for watching.